All right, welcome to the Snyder Report. I am your host, Gary Snyder. With me today is someone you hear on our radio side every day, Stephanie Miller. Welcome.
I love it. The Snyder Report, because there's a double meaning. Get it?
Believe it or not, a lot of people don't.
Well, happy to be here.
Now, you can catch Stephanie on Snyder Report Radio weekdays from 9 to noon and also Sirius XM Progressive 127. Is that correct?
That is correct indeed.
See, I did my homework there.
How's things in Indiana?
It sucks. It's hot, it's muggy. We have horrible representatives. You name it, you can go down the line. Jim Banks, Todd Young, Victoria Spartz. It never ends.
No, dear.
The mad Ukrainian, or Natasha, for all you Bullwinkle fans out there.
I have lots of family members, including my dad, that went to Notre Dame. So,
yeah,
you know, I'm a fan of Touchdown Jesus, at least.
We actually, my daughter went to St. Mary's College, one of my daughters. So, so yeah, we spend a lot of time up there.
Yeah.
But so, I wanted to bring you on today. Again, thank you for, what's that?
I said, so what? This Epstein thing, let's dish.
So let me get this straight, because, and maybe you can help me understand, but Democrats are in the Epstein files, and the Democrats wrote and fabricated all the files, and the Democrats voted to release those files, which framed themselves. Yeah. And now Donald Trump is all of a sudden protecting those Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing has made no sense from day one. It cannot be more obvious that he's involved in the Epstein thing. You know, I mean, there is mountains of, evidence, including him being on the flight logs and not countless pictures and videos. I mean, you can go on and on. I mean, they just keep making this worse by the day, right? I mean, firing the James Comey's daughter, who's the Epstein prosecutor, like, that's going to make people stop talking about this. It's like, editing the videotape from the jail cell. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it's the worst cover-up ever.
Is there anyone that's had their picture taken with Epstein more than Donald Trump?
No, it's the dumbest movie plot ever, Gary. It's like, what? Of course it's him. Like, he's an adjudicated rapist. He's been, accused by dozens of women, everything from sexual assault to sexual, harassment. I mean, it's just, but I think, what's interesting, Gary, is, this really doesn't it? Because it's his base. I mean, they brought this on themselves. He's been peddling this and all the people in his administration for years. And so, I can only assume, because he's gotten away with everything his whole life, he figured, he'll get away with this too. I mean, I don't know why else he would be the one campaigning on this, when he knows he's in it. I mean, I think it's just that's what a lifetime of getting away with unbelievable amounts of stuff, is just, that and add presidential immunity. He just thinks he absolutely is above the law, right?
And I was never one to wear the tinfoil hat on this conspiracy theory. But when I saw his response, I decided to make my own tinfoil hat, put it on. So I am now on the Epstein bandwagon. As long as this is killing MAGA, I'm there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's calling his own base stupid and weaklings.
Which is something we believed all along.
I mean,
no one
he's
believed
obviously
this when we
in there because he's willing to burn the whole thing down, Gary. Like, and I think that it's interesting, even these right-wing figures, they've made their money off of this, and that in the end is going to be more important to them than Trump. I mean, Elon Musk is in there again pushing this. Remember in the beginning of their feud, he was like, go with me, Trump's not going to be around very long, meaning he's going to be out of office or die soon. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's his base that people are more afraid of. And you know what I mean? It's like, one way or another, Trump isn't going to be around forever. And I think this is why it's different now that these right-wing people and even people in Congress are scared of his base, and they're getting the pressure from his base, right?
I've seen the picture of his ankle, so I don't know whether he'll die first or leave office
Right.
first.
Well, and I don't know, Gary, that even they think he will be able to stay in power. I know he says it, and people speculate that he'll run again. But I mean, I'm not sure even he can accomplish that. I mean, I'm not even sure the Supreme Court is that bad. You know what I mean? To say, oh, sure, you can run again.
Why do you think, out of everything that he has done, and you had a big list of them earlier, why do you think that this is the one thing that seems to be resonating with his base to turn against him?
Well, because first of all, this is real. The fact that he's calling it a hoax now, you're like, wait a minute. So your DOJ prosecuted him and Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's in jail for sex trafficking girls to nobody? I mean, even to them, it doesn't make sense. And to try to just throw out, it's Hillary and Obama, when you go like, no, no, no. Even they know he was arrested and incarcerated and, committed suicide, quote unquote, on Trump's watch.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's, and I think it's, I think we just can't keep saying enough, Gary. This is not a hoax. This is like maybe 1,000 little children that were raped systematically over years. This is a big deal for him to go like, oh, nobody cares, right?
And this is something that this is the horse that basically he rode into office on. I mean, you can go
Yep.
back through, I mean, any of his batshit crazy, bro machine, bro brothers, podcasters. And, this is something that they were riding that horse all the way to the
Well,
bank with a lot of the stuff.
yeah, no,
And
it
now
goes
they're,
to the heart of this whole QAnon thing. I mean, that's the difference is Hillary obviously wasn't running a child sex ring out of a pizza parlor. That was completely, but this is all they say they've cared about for years is this pedophile ring. So you can't ask those people, like you say, Gary, in the conspiracy they fueled to now, and obviously this is not a conspiracy. There was a child sex trafficking ring, right?
now I think what they're trying to do, the White House is putting out that they're going to release it. They're just holding off because it's part of a bigger conspiracy with Russia, and they're going to
Well,
appoint a special counsel who they said is you can't appoint anyway because they're illegal, but they're going to appoint one to look at everything.
Well, I mean, that's what, first of all, he's such a bad poker player, Gary. Like, the tell was, I don't know if you saw the interview back when he was asked about releasing the Epstein file. He said, first of all, his voice went up those 2 octaves, and he's like, yeah, yeah, I would look at that, but, I don't want to ruin people's lives. There's phony stuff in there. So, and you can see where he's shifted now to this is a Epstein hoax written by Obama and Hillary, his usual play, right? So
Yeah.
that's like the biggest tell that of course he's in there. So now his next play is going to go like, oh, this is hoax. This is they're trying to target Trump again. This is a witch hunt. I mean, it's just like people are not going to notice that because I mean, how is it phony? Why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail? Right?
That's a good question. So where does it go from here? I mean,
I don't know, but
does
is there
Maxwell
enough
get a
popcorn?
pardon? Does, what happens from here?
Yeah, is there enough popcorn in the world? First of all, no. Second of all, I mean, the thing we were speculating about this morning, Gary, that, is that would you put anything past Donald Trump at this point? I mean, what I'm afraid is, yes, he's going to be pressured into it, but he will order Pam Bondi to remove him from the Epstein files. And I feel like she'll go to prison for that ultimately. But, I mean, is there a way? I'm sure he would try to just, have them alter it. Like this tape was obviously altered of Jeffrey Epstein's non-suicide, right?
Yeah, well, I told my wife, when this broke, she was actually in Italy at the time. And I said, hey, they said there's no Epstein files. And my wife goes, no, there's no Epstein files anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean, look at, every other crime he's committed, Gary, he's also all committed obstruction, Look at the Mueller report. I mean, there are how many counts of obstruction in there? That's the only reason they weren't able to get to the criminal conspiracy threshold, but there was massive collusion with Russia. But the criminal bar is criminal conspiracy. And because they obstructed so much, which is a separate crime, they couldn't get to that. But this, I don't know, Gary, feels different, at least. It really does, because this is, like you say, their base. And that's why I think even Congress is cracking. It looks like they're getting enough Republicans to vote to release it. Mike Johnson is obviously, Mike Pence just came out today, speaking of Indiana,
Yeah.
and said, this is a revenge of Mike Pence, right? He said it's time to see the files, right?
And they tried to kill him.
Yeah, yeah. And that didn't seem to be the breaking point for him. I don't know about you, Gary. I get immediately annoyed when someone tries to have me hung.
Oh, yeah. Especially when they build the gallows out in the front yard.
Right, right. And where do you even get that? Gallows R Us? I didn't even know they sold those.
Yeah, right. It's right next to the Acme firecrackers and stuff that Wile E. Coyote used. I grew up an Indianapolis Colts fan. I'm going to use a sports analogy here.
Johnny Unitas. Woo. That's how old I am.
Yeah, well, and Tom Brady always seemed to beat the Colts. I hated him. Hated Tom Brady, because if you're a Colts fan, you hate Tom Brady. So when he blew his knee out that one day, you never want to see anyone get hurt. But damn it, if he got hurt, I hope it hurt like hell. And I'm kind of sticking to that here. You see MAGA wounded, so I hope it hurts like hell right now, because I'll keep riding this. I'll keep beating this dead horse as long as angry MAGA want to ride it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, that was pretty brutal about Tom Brady, Gary. I've never seen that side of you. Yikes. Men in their football in Indiana. Yikes.
Well, Stephanie, real quick before we let you run here, anything else that you wanted to cover about this that maybe I did not ask you?
Well, one thing we've been talking a lot about, obviously, Gary, is, we're, out here in LA, we're kind of ground zero for this like fascist attack from our own government, from ICE. I mean, I can confirm to you, they're snatching people because they're brown, period. I mean, the crops are rotting in the fields out here, because there was one farmer today saying, my documented workers aren't showing up, because if no one gets due process, everyone is scared that there are people that are citizens that have gotten swept up into these, alligator Alcatraz or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's.
Well, they're out at the regular Alcatraz today, wanting to open it back up.
Yeah, that's another distraction, right? It's going to cost us how many billions of dollars, and is a completely stupid idea. I mean, I hope that people understand this waste, fraud, and abuse thing was, a joke from day one, and look at what he just spent bombing Iran. And of course, the new intelligence is, of course, it didn't do much damage. How much did that cost us? Mr. No New Wars, right?
And the immigration thing, it struck home here in Little Huntington, Indiana, as red as can be. There was rampant rumors that ICE was in town, and we have 4 Mexican restaurants in town. 3 of them were closed down that day. So you could not get chips and salsa that day because of ICE.
No, they are terrorizing their own citizens. I mean, it literally is a, we are in fascism in real time, and I can tell you, there was no unrest here in LA. There was one block of, and they sent the Marines in. I mean, it's instead of sending them to Texas to rescue people, they sent them here to stand around and stare at a federal building where nothing was happening, right?
I had Joe Walsh on last week before, something like that.
I think I'm in love with him. I think I have a daddy issue of some sort.
He's probably next to you, probably one of my better guests. See
great.
How I did that?
Yeah, no, I love his tweets. I read them all the time, and I've had him on my show. I mean, it's just, yeah.
He says that we need to start thinking outside the box with Donald Trump. And he says, don't be surprised that if in 5, 6, 7 blue cities next year, that there are Marines running around the streets, and Trump will try to use that to incite riots and possibly cancel the 26 midterms.
Yeah.
Any
Martial
thoughts on
law.
that?
I think he's trying to provoke that here in LA. I can tell you that right now. It is a test run. And this budget for ICE, speaking of waste, fraud, and abuse, this is bigger than most countries' military. This is his private military force. And every American should be outraged and, speaking out.
I will leave it at that. So, Stephanie, where can people find your work? Obviously, Snyder Report Radio, Sirius XM, where else?
Free Speech TV on the TuneIn app, on the Progressive Voices app, on Political Voices Network, on YouTube. On the StephCast, you can get your commercial-free StephCast at stephaniemiller.com, but you can go there and find all the ways to watch or listen to the show.
I am Gary Snyder. She is not. She is Stephanie Miller. Stephanie, thank you very much.
Thanks, Gary. This has been a very snide report.
I appreciate that. We are out. All right, this is the part of the Snide Report where we thank our sponsors, and we have a growing list. So let's start with Robin Winston. Robin has been there when we first sent out our first email, 147 subscribers. We're now over 108,000. So thank you, Robin Winston, and helping us get the podcast going in the right direction. Next up is our good friend, former Congresswoman Jill Long Thompson. Her book, Across the Aisle, Why Bipartisanship Works for America. Get that anywhere you buy your books. Also, former two-term governor, two-term U.S. Senator Evan Bayh. Evan has been a sponsor of the newsletter, now jumps on board with the podcast. Congressman Andre Carson. Congressman Carson has been there from the start. We're glad to have him over here on the newsletter now. He needs your help to win re-election next year, so make sure you support Congressman Carson. Next up, State Representative Cherish Pryor. Cherish has been there from the start on the newsletter, joining us on the podcast now. So is State Senator Greg Taylor. I want to thank Senator Taylor for all of his support through the years. Next, we have a couple of new sponsors. First up is Indiana Citizen. You want to check out their new project, One Heartbeat Away. Do Christian nationalists have an agenda for Indiana? All you have to do is look at the lieutenant governorship and you can see right away that they do. So thank you, Indiana Citizen. Next up is Jump Laundry. You can visit them at jumplaundry.com. They have home pickup. They do your dry cleaning, wash and fold with, I might add, no judgments, and next day service. So if you're in a crunch for time, you don't want to do your own laundry, get a hold of Jump Laundry at jumplaundry.com or at 317-740-5011, and they will take care of all of your laundry needs.
It's the Brickyard 400, presented by PPG.
This is such a prestigious place and such hallowed ground.
This 3-day NASCAR Crown Jewel event features the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 250.
This is the Brickyard. This is Indianapolis. This is the coolest racetrack in the world.
Don't miss the stars of NASCAR. Drive for a chance to kiss the bricks. Brickyard weekend tickets available now at ims.com.